Дорога – это жизнь. Via vita est.
Life is a journey, vita via est. This is what the ancient Romans used to say. Centuries later, this expression is still as accurate. In the modern world, if a journey is to symbolize a road, then for people it is not only the process of moving from point A to point B. Today, our present and future depend on their quality, access to various points, security, and level of integration to the global transport network. Hello, my name is Danyar Baturbayev, and you're watching the program Route to the Future. And we are now in one of the sections of the transnational transport corridor, Western Europe, Western China, and the Aktobe region.
Западный Китай в Актюбинской области.
This region has a total area of more than 300,000 square kilometers. In terms of its territory, it is the second largest region in Kazakhstan and has the lowest population density level, 2.3 persons per 1 square kilometer. That is why for the region's development, solution of two key issues is of strategic importance: formation of a modern ramified system of roads and creation of a trade and logistics system.
С точки зрения географии, Актюбинская область представляет интерес во всех отношениях.
From a geographical point of view, the Aktobe region is interesting in every respect. First of all, its position, at the junction of Europe and Asia. Second of all, borders of two countries pass through this territory. In the north, the border with Russia, and in the south, the border with Uzbekistan. And thirdly, it shares borders with 6 regions of Kazakhstan. By the way, if we look at the map of the country's roads, then we would see that highway routes pass throughout the length and breadth of the Aktobe region.
Автомагистралей.
The most optimal transit option in the scheme Western Europe, Western China has granted the Aktobe region the role of a region through which this transport corridor passes. Of the 2,787 kilometers of the corridor that pass through Kazakhstan, 628 kilometers lie through the Aktobe region. This is more than 20% of the entire length of the transport corridor. Within the framework of this project, 356 kilometers of roads in Aktobe underwent reconstruction. This included the Aktobe-Martuk road, construction of the northern bypass, and reconstruction of a section near the town Irgiz. Road construction work did not follow the gradual progression of the route that is marked on the map of the transport corridor, but was more localized in its separate sections. But in order to get a full picture of the geographical layout of the project, it would be logical to commence the excursion across the Aktobe section of the international highway Western Europe, Western China, from the point where the Russian section ends, Kazakhstan's begins. This section of the road is called Aktobe-Martuk. It leads to the Russian border in the direction of the Orenburg region. This is where the western gates of Kazakhstan section of this international highway, Western Europe, Western China, are located. These gates, literally and metaphorically, open up the path to a new life, new trade and economic relations between countries, the interests of which meet at the crossroads of this transnational project. The renovated highway, Aktobe-Martuk, was put in commission in 2013. Its length is 102 kilometers. 14 billion tenge were spent on its construction. Before, this section was classified as a road of 3rd technical grade quality. After the reconstruction, the main part of the highway with a length of 92.5 kilometers was upgraded to the 2nd technical grade. The width of the road was increased from 8 to 9 meters. To a layperson, 1 meter may not mean much, but with the appropriate speed limits, when a driver is going at a fast speed, this 1 meter provides substantial space for maneuvering. This meter adds a great degree of safety. Separate sections of the road Aktobe-Martuk were upgraded to the 1B technical category. Among them are roads with the highest intensity of traffic. This is the road approaching Aktobe, as well as a section of the highway from the 7th to the 16th kilometers.
Автодорога технической категории 1Б.
This is a highway of the 1B technical category. All its parameters can be directly seen on its surface. Literally, here they are. This is a road for high-speed traffic. The number of lanes is 4 and over. The width of each lane is 3 meters 75 centimeters. A dividing barrier passes through the center of this expressway. The wide road allows for a high amount of traffic to pass, and the dividing lane allows the driver to overtake the car ahead safely. First-grade quality roads, in principle, exclude the possibility of a head-to-head collision, which makes these roads absolutely safe for overtaking. The lighting system of first-grade roads also adds to its overall safety conditions. When it is dark, lights turn on along the 17 kilometers of the highway. By the way, there is lighting also on the sections which are not of first-grade quality. These are the guiding lights across the railway line and bridges. A small section passes through a populated locality, Sarjansai. Next in our program, go the smart way, not the hard way. And also, what is SMA?
Благодаря северному обходу, не заезжая в город, можно сразу же попасть...
Thanks to the northern bypass, one can immediately get to the highway in the directions of Astana, Almaty, and the Russian border without having to enter the city. The advantages of the northern bypass Aktobe are quite obvious. First, it considerably decreases traffic inside the city itself. Secondly, for people going to other regions, this saves travel time.
Экономится время в пути.
The northern bypass of Aktobe is a completely new road. It did not exist before the commencement of the Western Europe-Western China project. The total length of the alternative road is 39 kilometers. This section was put in commission in 2013. 12 billion tenge were spent on its construction, but it was all worth it. Thousands of heavy-load trucks, by bypassing the city, optimize their route and decrease fuel and vehicle maintenance costs. And the lower intensity of traffic outside the city is an additional condition for road safety. The northern bypass Aktobe is a second technical grade highway, which has only 2 lanes and a width of 9 meters. By the way, along the entire Aktobe section, stone mastic asphalt, or SMA, is used for the road surface.
Дорожную одежду можно сравнить с айсбергом. Глаза выхватывают лишь ее верхнюю часть, покрытие. Но под ним...
This road surface can be compared to an iceberg. Visually, we can only see the upper layer, but underneath there is another couple of layers. This is the road base, the underlying layer of stone-sandy mixture, then there's the base made of stone, and a layer of coarse asphalt bituminous concrete, and only then the so-called stone mastic asphalt is laid.
Щема, щебеночно-мастичный асфальтобетон.
Before the commencement of the Western Europe-Western China project, fine bituminous concrete was used for the roads in the Aktobe region. The stone mastic asphalt alternative is a more modern type of road surface material.
Для состава шма в основном применяют щебень более прочно.
More durable and frost-resistant stones are used for the making of SMA, and bituminous mastic is used as a base instead of the previously used bitumen.
Не битум, как раньше применяли, а битумная мастика.
SMA has a number of advantages. First of all, it can withstand big temperature changes. In the Aktobe region in the summertime, temperatures can reach plus 40 degrees, and in the winter can fall below 40. In such tough climate conditions, the use of stone mastic asphalt has a great advantage in terms of durability. Worldwide practice shows that this road surface material can serve for up to 8 years without the need for repairs.
В Швеции есть дороги щебенечно-мастичным асфальтобетоном с большой интенсивностью движения, которые...
In Sweden, there are high traffic intensity roads that were built using SMA, and to this day they have served for 30 years without repairs. This is of course a record-setting period, and Sweden also has a climate that is similar to ours.
Похожим на наш.
Another advantage of SMA is resistance to large dynamic loads. In terms of its technical parameters, the transport corridor Western Europe-Western China is designed for tracks with an axle load of up to 14 tons, and this high margin of durability is possible thanks to the bituminous asphalt.
Здесь две фракции щебня, целлюлоза принята.
There are 2 stone fractions, the cellulose itself and the bitumen, 90 by 130. There are also stabilizing additives.
Стабилизирующие.
Thanks to the tough stone carcass, there is no formation of tracing ruts and a smooth surface is preserved, and the stabilizing additives ensure the durability of the road surface. As a result, along the section of the highway, a good speed rate is maintained. This is especially noticeable in sections that were previously considered as dangerous. They include the road Karabutak-Irgitsk-Kızıldağ region, which is 215 kilometers in length. By the way, this is where the reconstruction of the highway began. This road became the first link in the construction of the section of the Western Europe-Western China corridor, which passes through the territory of Kazakhstan. Today, drivers of heavy-load trucks can already see the difference between the quality of the road before and today.
Как раз мы оттуда вот с Иргиза едем.
We are just coming from Ergiz. Before, it was almost impossible to drive through here. The road was in bad condition. It took us 12 to 14 hours to get from there, and now only 2 to 3 hours. Coming up next in the program, a constructive approach to road building and what is the purpose of cloverleaf. A constructive approach to road building and what is the purpose of a cloverleaf. The length of this bridge is 200 meters, width more than 12 meters. Daily up to 20,000 vehicles cross it. This transit capacity was estimated in advance, taking into account the traffic intensity of this road junction. There are 3 transit corridors that pass through this location: Uzbekistan Aktobe, Russia, Russia Aktobe Atarau, and Astana Aktobe, Russia. This is the bridge across the Jibek River, one of the newest engineered structures on the territory of the Aktobe region. This bridge was built within the framework of the project Western Europe-Western China corridor. Initially, it was planned to reconstruct the old one-lane bridge. However, after the preliminary calculations, it was clear that a new bridge with a wider surface area will significantly improve cargo flow, and its construction would cost just as much as the reconstruction of the old bridge. That is why the decision was made in favor of building a new structure. The engineering plans were approved by the state expert review, the ordering party supported this project, and thus a completely new bridge was built. Overall, 24 bridges were built and reconstructed in the Aktobe region. Another type of road structures that are also part of the Western Europe-Western China project are the highway junctions or interchanges. They were built at the crossroads of different routes for increasing their transit capacity, and they're all located on the section northern bypass of Aktobe. One of these highway junctions is the so-called cloverleaf. This is the only junction of this type in West Kazakhstan. Here, the full cloverleaf type of interchange was used. This type of interchange allows for branching of roads on different levels. This design allows drivers to switch routes without inhibiting the main flow of transport.
Типовой полный клеверный лист до 1000 автомобилей проходимость, пропускная способность.
This is a typical cloverleaf interchange with a transit capacity for up to 1,000 vehicles. From 4 sides with 8 exits, there is a free passage for a high traffic flow.
Большого количества грузопотока.
In order to ensure an optimal speed limit and compliance with the rules of safe driving near populated areas, cattle routes were built, and at the intersections of highways and railway lines, viaducts. Thanks to these constructions, drivers pass intersections with railway lines without stopping. Coming up next in the program, when queries work in favor of increasing local content, and how the project Western Europe-Western China opened the path for small and medium businesses. A large infrastructural project always gives an additional stimulus for domestic enterprises. Realization of such a mega project like the Transnational Corridor gave an impulse to enterprises operating in the related spheres. And we're talking not just about enterprises that work in road construction. The high percentage of local content in production was achieved primarily due to the extraction and processing of locally based construction materials such as crushed stone and the sand and gravel mix. By the way, the Aktobe region has its own deposit fields and shared the extracted road construction materials with other regions. We have a lot of quarries in the Aktobe region: Nerudnik, the Aktobe industrial plant of non-metallic materials, and other quarries, which supplied the necessary materials to the construction sites. The increase in cargo flow brings out a rise in consumer demand. A large flow of people is expected in both directions, consumers who in any case may decide to stay for a couple of days. That is why simultaneously alongside roadway service, other complementary business spheres will start developing: construction of transport and logistics objects, production of food products, manufacturing of clothes and souvenirs, and development of trade. Coming up next in the program, service on the road, when tourism transforms into capital. Each one of us at least once a year finds themselves in the role of a driver or passenger on a long travel journey. And when a nice place is found along the trip, where one can comfortably rest, get a bite to eat, drink a cup of hot tea, the journey does not seem so tiring. A cup of tea with milk for me, please. Services within the framework of the Transnational Corridor project is an optimal win-win combination for everyone. On the one hand, it is the drivers and passengers, and on the other, those providing the services, and thirdly, the region itself, across the territory of which an endless flow of traffic passes. In the prospective future, when service providers will be operating along the entire route, it will provide an additional bonus: positive impressions about Kazakhstan in the eyes of foreign visitors. By the way, these visitors are always very curious to find out more about our country, about its traditions, national cuisine, and the people themselves.
I was a postman when I was in France, and now I'm just a traveler since about 9 months and a half. Well, it's quite, when you come for the first time as a traveler and you go to Kazakhstan, you have a big feeling that it's so big, everything is so huge. And my impression was, wow, that's kind of desertic place. But I really like people, even in the South Kazakhstan, I know it's some kind of reputation, I don't know, they say.
The intense transit flow revives, first and foremost, the populated town areas which are located along the route of the highway. For their residents, the service sector may become a good niche for employment. There are a lot of opportunities for establishing a hotel business, food service areas, gas filling stations, car repair shops, saunas, and dry cleaning. However, an important nuance has to be taken into account. The process of establishing various businesses will be regulated by the state. There are already unified standards in place for the highway service facilities, which, depending on the scale of the project and possibilities of entrepreneurs, are divided into 3 categories.
Категория С – это самые такие простые, где заправка, небольшой пункт питания, магазинчик, там теплый туалет и небольшой стол.
Category C, these are the most basic, like gas stations, food establishments, a small bathroom, a car repair shops, as well as a lot for vehicles. The B category already includes camping areas when one can stay overnight. And the A category, these are establishments in areas of historical, cultural objects, where for a day or two tourists can stop and get to see the sights.
Два остановиться, туристы.
Tourism may become an important source of revenues. In Aktobe, the greatest potential lies in the environmental tourism. On the territory of this region, there are a lot of places with wonderful landscapes. For example, the area of the Usturt Plateau, the northern part of which is called Donestau. These are incredulous landscapes, the beauty of which can be appreciated by discerning travelers. There are also ancient architectural monuments. The Aktobe region is called an open sky museum, and this is not only because of the unique natural objects, but also because of the presence of historical monuments. Ancient necropolies and mausoleums are located on the territory of the region. One of them is Abad Baytak. The mausoleum Abad Baytak is an architectural monument that dates back to the 14th-15th centuries. Historians believe that at some point, this mausoleum was sparkled with bright golden sky blue colors. It was so magnificent that one could see it from afar. Starting in the 18th century, around the mausoleum, a large necropolis was formed.
В некрополе Абад Байтак можно увидеть.
In the necropolis Abad Baytak, one can find unique tombstones, grave tablets, and tomb structures. Taking into account the prospects of tourism, with the existence of the Transnational Corridor, today the region is making its own adjustments in its plans of development of the sector. More than 60 tourism routes have been developed in the region. Among them are completely new ones, which appear taking into account the new trends of global tourism.
Сегодня мы рассказали о казахстанском отрезке пути в транснациональном.
Today, we told you about Kazakhstan's section of the transnational highway, Western Europe, Western China, which passes through the Aktobe region. Of course, this is just a small share of information on this topic. And in order for you to get a fuller picture, in our next program, you can find out how the main city of this region, the city of Aktobe, is preparing for its new role. The role which is defined by another development scenario. All this coming up in our next program.